Is this Bardstown weeded bourbon enough to make me into a weeded bourbon fan? Let's find out. So yeah, my last trip to Kentucky, we stopped by Bardstown because of course we did. And I saw this bottle. This is the Bardstown Origin Series. It is Kentucky straight weeded bourbon. It is a bourbon, so it's still 53% corn because you got to be at least 51%. It then comes in at 39% wheat. So that makes it wheated because it's the second flavoring grain. And then a little bit of malted barley, in this case 9%, in a 6-year age-stated bourbon, which will not look good on camera because of this little yellow color. But hey, it's not what matters, right? It's how the bourbon looks, not necessarily how the label looks in these videos. So I was pretty skeptical when I saw it because though I am a fan of the way Bardstown Bourbon Company bourbon drinks, I have not been a fan of how big of a fan they are of their own price tags. I did put a short out. I was kind of inebriated because I just done a Rick House tour and drank my sample and my wife's sample and had some other samples. But I pretty quickly found out that Bardstown is actually releasing a lot of their Origin series at a much more attractive price tag because it's their own juice, right? The Discovery, not theirs. And so, yeah, I thought that was pretty good indication I should pick up a bottle. Didn't do it at the distillery. Did it at another store. Got 2 of them. So, yeah, I mean, I actually hadn't cracked it open until right before this video. I didn't know what to expect. So why don't we start with the nose? And also I'm drinking out of a mason jar tonight because it's cold outside and I wanted to drink out of a mason jar. I don't know. But yeah, so the nose is a little less kind of that corn bourbon. There is barrel. Well, there's definitely some barrel in there. It's not as like wheat forward as say like a Maker's Mark or maybe some of the other wheated bourbons that you've tried. This actually feels more like a Weller Special Reserve to me. Not in a bad way because I like Weller Special Reserve. But yeah, it kind of has that kind of smell to it. It's got a little bit of what I would say is that Maker's Mark kind of dry erase marker smell, which I like that too. So I'm weird. I think that's what I find out every time we do tasting. On the palate, however, so I don't get as much wheat as I would expect. To me, this is definitely a bourbon. 53% corn, time in a barrel, all that kind of stuff. You're going to get those barrel bourbon notes, right? I don't know why it's not. You're going to get the barrel notes and the bourbon notes. That's a much better way to say that. On the mid palate, you pick up a lot of wheat, kind of like wheat bread, which is not unpleasant when you go from kind of char. It's almost like toast, right? You got a little bit of like uncooked bread in the middle around some crispy char. And then, like I said, when I taste Maker's Mark, I definitely get that. I call it a dry erase marker flavor. But there's kind of I don't know, just a feel almost, kind of a bubbly effervescence in the drink that makes me go back to Maker's Mark a lot. But this has that, not as much, because, I think Maker's Mark calls itself a whiskey, and this is bourbon, and has different rules that it's going to follow. But yeah, I mean, overall, yeah, I mean, it's good. If you can't find it, though I've seen this Origin bottle just about everywhere. If you can't find it and you want to drink a wheated bourbon, Weller Special Reserve I think would fit in pretty nicely here. Suit your palate just fine. Maker's Mark, though I think Maker's Mark does more wheat than this does. Not a bad thing, but if you're looking for the closest comparison, Special Reserve is kind of the closest I can think. And on release days, if you can find it, Weller Special Reserve actually has a lower MSRP than this. 60 for Bardstown, and then 40-ish for Weller. Anyway, do I like it? I may not have sound like it. I was listening to myself talk, and yeah, I mean, I do like it. It's a great drinker. For me, I think it struggles a little bit to know exactly what it is because it's, as a wheated bourbon, doesn't go all the way into wheated whiskey, and it doesn't go all the way into bourbon. I'm not sorry I have 2 bottles of it. They're gonna get drank. But overall, yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's good. Definitely think that if you like Bardstown Bourbon Company, this would be a good bottle for you to pick up. Once again, it's this kind of yellowish one, and I've also got the green label, and we'll do some other ones later. But yeah, it's got, I don't know if you can see, it's got kind of a cool little wheat on it. But yeah, I mean, if you were holding off on Bardstown Bourbon Company just like I was, it's a good bottle. I mean, for the price tag, it's amazing. So yeah, definitely give it a shot. If you were thinking about buying a bottle, now you know if you want to do it. And if you can't find a bottle, you can at least kind of get something similar. So if you like this, like and subscribe. We do all different kinds of things here on the channel. Sometimes we do bottle reviews. Sometimes we go hunting. We just did a video on the Weston Whiskey Festival, which was a lot of fun. And yeah, I guess we'll see you next time. Like, subscribe, do the thing. Really appreciate it. See you next time.